Here's the brutal, unfiltered truth. They're planning nationwide blackouts. I'm not some conspiracy nut yelling about lizard people. I'm talking about real threats, grid failures, cyber attacks, and infrastructure so old it's practically begging to collapse. The Department of Energy's own reports say 70% of our power grid's transformers are over 25 years old. One good storm, one hacker, and we're looking at weeks, maybe months, without power. When that happens, you're on your own. No lights, no heat, no way to cook that $300 survival meal kit you got conned into buying. Think you're ready because you've got a generator and a closet full of tactical gear. Think again. Most people are flushing their money down the drain on overpriced junk that won't help when the grid goes dark. I'm a guy who's lived through blackouts in rural Kentucky, seen neighbors lose their minds over a 2-day outage, and learned the hard way what actually works. Survival isn't about deep pockets or a bunker in the woods. It's about smart choices and a plan that doesn't break the bank. I've been prepping on a budget for over a decade, living in a small town where power outages are as common as summer storms. I've seen what happens when the lights go out. Panic sets in, stores empty in hours, and people turn desperate fast. The average American has 3 days of food at home. 3 days. That's not a plan. That's a disaster waiting to happen. But here's the good news. You don't need a fortune to be ready. I'm going to show you exactly how to prepare for a nationwide blackout with just $100, using 7 dirt cheap essentials, all under $20, that'll keep you fed, warm, and safe for 90 days. And number 6? It's the one thing even seasoned preppers forget until it's too late. We're talking practical, no-nonsense solutions, rice, beans, and gear that doesn't need a plug. No $500 tactical flashlights, no $1,000 generators that'll run dry in a week. Just real-world strategies that work, backed by my own experience and hard numbers. Let's dive in. First, let's get real about what a blackout means. It's not just sitting in the dark, annoyed because Netflix is down. It's chaos. Grocery stores are cleaned out in hours. Last year's supply chain data showed 80% of urban stores hit empty shelves within 48 hours of a major outage. Gas stations shut down when pumps lose power. ATMs go dark and cash becomes king, if you can even get to it. Hospitals run on backup generators for a few days, then what? If you're not ready, you're not just uncomfortable. You're fighting for survival with every other unprepared soul out there. I saw it firsthand in 2018 during a week-long blackout after a storm. Neighbors were knocking on doors, begging for food while I was eating rice and beans by headlamp light. The difference? I planned ahead with cheap, reliable gear and a mindset that didn't rely on the government swooping in to save me. You need to do the same, and it starts with the first essential. Number 1, LED headlamp. When the grid fails, darkness isn't just an inconvenience, it's a threat. You're stumbling over furniture, missing critical tasks, or worse, signaling to every looter in the neighborhood that you're unprepared. Handheld flashlights are fine until you need both hands to cook, fix a leak, or defend your home. An LED headlamp, about $12 at Walmart or Home Depot, changes everything. It's hands-free, pumps out 200 lumens, bright enough to light up a barn, and uses batteries so sparingly you'll think it's magic. I learned this the hard way in 2019, during a winter storm that knocked out power for 5 days. I was out in the dark, fixing a busted fence to keep my livestock safe, with snow piling up around me. My headlamp let me work fast and keep my hands free. Without it, I'd have been useless, maybe lost a few animals. These run for 20 hours on a single set of Lelaye batteries. Grab a $4 pack of 8 for backups. Store it in your bug-out bag, car glove box, or kitchen drawer. Pro tip, get one with a red light mode. It preserves your night vision and keeps you low profile, so you're not broadcasting your position to anyone watching. Prices are up 15% since last year. Demand's spiking as more folks wake up to the grid's fragility. Don't wait until they're $20. Without light, you're not surviving. You're just hoping. Let's talk storage, because a headlamp's no good if you can't find it when the power cuts. I keep mine in a small plastic case with my batteries tucked in a kitchen drawer next to my can opener. It's always there, always ready. You can do the same. Or stash one in your car, your bug-out bag, and your bedroom. 3 headlamps at $12 each is still under $40, and you're covered for any scenario. Compare that to the $100 tactical flashlights the survival industry pushes. Same brightness, triple the price, and they eat batteries like candy. The industry's banking on your fear, but a headlamp gets you through with change to spare. If you're in a pinch, check dollar stores. Sometimes they stock knockoffs for $8, though they're less reliable. Whatever you do, don't skimp on this. Light is life when the grid's down. Now let's get to food, because this is where most people screw up big time. They blow their budget on freeze-dried meals that taste like cardboard and cost $10 per serving. The survival industry loves this. They're laughing all the way to the bank while you're stuck with a $200 meal kit that won't last a month. Forget that noise. You can feed yourself for 90 days on $100 if you stick to the basics, and it starts with number 2, white rice. This isn't just food, it's survival currency. A 20-pound bag costs $10 at any big box store like Costco, Sam's Club, or even Walmart. That's 30,000 calories, enough to keep a grown adult alive for 30 days at 1,000 calories a day. Sealed in airtight buckets with oxygen absorbers, it lasts 30 years without losing quality. I've got 6 bags in my garage stored in $5 buckets from Home Depot, each with a $1 oxygen absorber packet. I learned this trick after a flood wiped out half my pantry in '17. Rice was the only thing that survived, and it fed my family for weeks. Here's the math. A 20-pound bag gives you about 90 cups of dry rice. Cooked, that's 270 cups, or roughly 3 cups per day for 90 days. At 110 calories per cup cooked, you're hitting 330 calories daily from rice alone. Add a $2 can of beans, another 300 calories, and you've got a complete protein meal for under 0 or 50 a day. Compare that to freeze-dried meals at $5 per 500 calories. You'd need $450 to hit the same calorie count as $10 of rice. The industry doesn't want you to know this because they can't mark up rice 500%. Prices are creeping up. Rice is up 12% since last year, and supply chain issues are tightening. Grab at least 2 bags now and store them right. Use food-grade buckets, not trash cans, and add oxygen absorbers to kill bugs and prevent spoilage. If you're on a tight budget, split a bag with a friend. $5 each for 15,000 calories is a steal. When stores shut down, rice is the first thing gone. Don't be the guy begging for scraps, but rice alone will make you hate life after a week. That's where number 3, bouillon cubes, come in. These little flavor bombs cost $2 for a jar of 20 at any grocery store. 1 cube turns a pot of rice or beans into a meal you can actually look forward to. I learned this during a 4-day outage in '20 when my kids were whining about plain oats for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I tossed a bouillon cube into the pot, and suddenly they were eating without complaints. It's not gourmet, but it's a psychological win, and in a blackout, morale is half the battle. These cubes last 5 to 10 years, weigh nothing, and fit in a sandwich bag. Stash a jar in your pantry, another in your bug-out bag. The survival industry pushes $50 spice blends with fancy tactical branding. Same ingredients, insane markup. Bouillon does the job for pennies. Stock up now. Supply chains are wobbly, and I've seen empty shelves for these during shortages. Pro tip, try chicken or beef flavors for versatility, and avoid the low-sodium ones. They're less punchy. Flavor keeps you sane, and sanity keeps you sharp. Let's talk water, because without it, you're dead in 3 days, food or no food. Blackouts don't just kill power. They kill water treatment plants. Your tap becomes a health risk and bottled water runs out fast. Number 4, water filter straw. For 15s, you can get a Sawyer Mini or Life straw that purifies up to 100,000 gallons. I used one on a hunting trip in '21 when my water jug sprang a leak. Drank straight from a muddy creek and didn't spend the next week hugging the toilet. These straws are smaller than a smartphone, weigh less than an apple, and need no power. Compare that to bottled water. Heavy, bulky, and gone in days. A single straw can keep you hydrated for years. Pair it with a $5 collapsible canteen for storage, and you're set for any water source. Puddles, streams, even rainwater. I keep one in my truck, one in my bug-out bag, and one at home. During a blackout, I used it to filter rainwater collected in buckets when my well pump died. Saved my family from dehydration. Here's the cost breakdown. A Sawyer Mini is $15 online or at outdoor stores like REI. A collapsible canteen is $5 at Walmart. That's $20 for unlimited clean water. Compare that to bottled water, $1 per gallon. And you'd need 90 gallons for 90 days at 1 gallon per person per day. That's $90, and you're hauling 700 pounds of plastic. A filter straw weighs 2 ounces and fits in your pocket. Prices are up 14% since last year. Supply chain disruptions and prepper demand are driving costs. Grab one now and practice using it. Test it on tap water, learn how it flows, and keep it clean. The industry wants you buying $100 purification systems that need power or chemicals. This straw is all you need. No water, no survival. Don't skimp here. You've got light, food, and water. But a blackout means no stove, no microwave, no way to cook unless you're prepared. That's where number 5, portable camping stove, comes in. For $18, you can get a single-burner butane stove at Walmart or Amazon. One $3 canister lasts about 3 hours of cooking. I used one during a week-long outage in 22 when my propane grill ran out of fuel. Boiled water, cooked rice, even made coffee. Kept my family fed and warm. It's compact, fits in a closet, and doesn't rely on the grid. Forget those $150 multi-fuel stoves the tactical crowd hypes. They're overkill for 99% of us. This $18 stove gets you hot meals without the fuss. Stock 5 canisters for $15 and you're cooking for a month. Here's the math. 1 canister cooks 10 meals, 30 minutes each. 5 canisters give you 50 meals, more than enough for 90 days if you're smart about batch cooking. Prices are edging toward $20 as demand grows, so don't wait. Pro tip: store canisters in a cool, dry place and never use them indoors without ventilation. Carbon monoxide is no joke. The industry wants you buying $200 stoves that need special fuel. This cheap setup works just as well. Don't be the guy eating cold beans in the dark. Let's talk safety, because cooking indoors brings risks. I keep my stove in a metal toolbox with a fire extinguisher nearby, $10 at Home Depot. Practice setting it up outside or in a well-ventilated garage. Test 1 canister to get the hang of it. During that 22 outage, I cooked on my porch, away from wind but still safe. It's simple, but you need to know your gear before the blackout hits. If you're on a super tight budget, check thrift stores. Sometimes you'll find these stoves for $10, though canisters are harder to come by used. Either way, this is your ticket to hot food when the grid's down. Don't let the survival industry scam you into thinking you need a $500 setup to boil water. Now let's get to the ugly side of blackouts: security. When the power's out, people get desperate, and desperate people do stupid things. Looters, vandals, or just hungry neighbors, blackouts bring out the worst. That's why number 6, door security bar, is the one thing most preppers forget until it's too late. For $15, this simple metal bar jams under your doorknob and makes your door nearly impossible to kick in. I saw it save a neighbor's house during a city blackout in 20. Looters hit every home on her street, except hers. The bar held strong, no fancy tech needed. It's portable, works on any door, and needs no installation. I keep one by my front door, another by the back. During a rural outage, I slept better knowing my family was secure. The tactical industry pushes $600 security systems, cameras, alarms, all useless without power. This bar doesn't need batteries or Wi-Fi. It's just steel and physics. Here's the breakdown. A door bar costs $15 online or at hardware stores. It's adjustable, fits standard doors, and takes seconds to set up. Compare that to a $200 deadbolt upgrade that needs professional installation and still fails if someone's determined. During a blackout, I used one to secure a shed full of supplies when rumors of looting started spreading. Kept my gear safe while others lost theirs. Prices are stable, but stock's low in some areas. Preppers are catching on. Grab 2 for $30, 1 for each main entry. Practice setting it up in under 10 seconds. If you're in an apartment, this is a must. Flimsy complex doors are a weak point. Don't wait until you hear glass breaking to wish you had one. Finally, number 7, a blackout-proof mindset. Gear is worthless if you panic. I've seen preppers with $10,000 worth of supplies freeze during a 3-day outage because they didn't train their brain. Your mind is your best tool, and it's free. Start building mental toughness now. Practice cooking on that camp stove for a weekend. Eat nothing but rice and beans for 3 days to test your system. Walk your house in the dark with your headlamp, mapping out every corner. I did this after a tornado took out power for 6 days in 16. I stayed calm, prioritized water, and rationed food while others were losing it. It wasn't gear that saved me, it was mindset. I trained by skipping meals, taking cold showers, and sleeping without heat to simulate worst-case scenarios. Sounds extreme, but it builds resilience. Here's how to start. Pick 1 day a week to go off-grid. Cook a meal on your stove, use your headlamp, and skip the tap. Filter water instead. Time yourself to see how fast you can set up your door bar. Write down your plan. What's your first move in a blackout? Who's your ally nearby? Where's your gear stored? I keep a laminated checklist in my bug-out bag. Water, food, light, security, in that order. During that 16 outage, it kept me focused while neighbors were scrambling. The survival industry can't sell you this, but it's the difference between thriving and crumbling. Train your brain and you're unstoppable. Let's add it up. Headlamp, $12. Rice, $10. Bouillon, $2. Filter straw, 15s. Camp stove, 18. 5 canisters, $15. Door bar, $15. That's $87, leaving $13 for extra batteries. A second canteen or another bag of beans. That's 90 days of food, water, light, heat, and security for less than a night out. The math checks out. 20 pounds of rice, 30,000 calories, plus 5 $2 cans of beans, 500 calories each. Gives you 37,500 calories, enough for 90 days at 400 calories. Daily, supplemented with whatever else you scrounge. Add bouillon for flavor, a headlamp for light, a filter for water, a stove for cooking, a bar for safety, and a mindset to tie it all together. The industry wants you broke, buying their $2,000 kits that'll fail when the power's out. I'm telling you, $100 and some brains beat that every time. Here's your gut check. The grid's down, and you've got 30 seconds to grab one thing. Is it the headlamp to see in the dark? The rice to keep you fed? The filter to stay hydrated? The stove to cook? The bar to stay safe? Or the mindset to keep it together? Drop your pick in the comments. What's your #1 blackout essential, and why? I'm reading every single one and pinning the best to spark some real talk. Hit subscribe, because next, we're ripping apart 5 ways your survival plan fails in a blackout and how to fix it for cheap. Stay sharp, stay ready. Survival isn't about money, it's about choices.